I'd like to call the Joint Special School Building Committee to order. We're at Nashua High School North Boardroom. It's Thursday, October 23rd, 2025. It's 7 p.m. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Filling in for Miss Bishop, who had an issue to deal with, I think she called it a child issue. Alderman Dowd.
Present.
Alderwoman Wilshire.
Here.
Alderwoman Timmons, not here. Alderman Sullivan.
Here.
Alderman Senate.
Here.
Ms. Raymond.
Here.
Ms. Bishop, as I said, is not here. Mr. Johnson.
Here.
Ms. Lopez.
Here.
And Ms. Prin.
Here.
We do have a quorum.
Okay, we need to change the agenda to reflect that it's Mrs. Lopez now. All right. If the clerk would lead us in the prayer and Alderman Senate leave us in the pledge.
Almighty God, we have the high honor and serious duty to manage the educational affairs of our beloved city. Fill us, O God, with a spirit of unity and understanding which enables us to face our multiple problems with a serene mind, with justice and charity for all. So any and all decisions made by us will always be for the betterment and greater happiness of all our fellow citizens. So help us, God.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. If there are no objections, I'll waive the reading of the minutes of the September 25th, 2025 meeting and place them on file. Remarks by Chairman. I have to ask the Board of Ed, what are these things? I don't know. Do they cool the room when you have Board of Ed meetings?
Oh, the fans. Is it the tall column there?
Yeah.
Black? Yeah, it's a fan. Some of our members get overheated at the meetings because we are of a certain age, and the fan is pleasant.
Okay. So I just wanted to mention that we had great dedication ceremonies at Birch Hill and Maine Dunstable, and those schools are blessed and underway. And I did want to thank Nick Goomis for having his band play some music for me. Nick and I go back farther than I want to mention. So the other thing I want to mention before we get started is this committee and our work has been pretty outstanding. I just want to run through some numbers. The middle school project of the second $10 million bond, we will not be bonding $4 million of that. And $2.2 million was transferred by the Board of Aldermen to the new Searle Security Vestibule project. I'll touch on that in a second. And in the middle school project, at the moment, we have $80,329.08 left, and we'll be clearing that. So the total project cost for the three schools in the middle school project was the McCarthy School was $86,178,915.84. The Pennachuck project was $26,840,866.35. And the Fairgrounds project was $10,650,985.25. So now the Maine Dunstable Birch Hill, the total project for the two schools was $35,849,252.03. I don't know how 3 cents was spent. And the remaining money in that project, at least after Harvey presents us with one piece of it tonight, is in total. Now, these numbers are general. I haven't been baptized by finance yet, but they should be pretty close. Remaining in that project is to turn back will be $1,633,655.97. The security vestibule project at New Searles is, won't be totally completed till February, just because we have to do that work. I hope I'm not stealing your thunder. But that total project will be approximately $3,935,817.65. So the remaining money in that project will be approximately $537,956.35. Stella Stadium, the project to date has been $1,320,225.93, with $179,774.07 left. Sean's going to be presenting something in a minute or so. And that's for the total of $1,500,000, including the Stellus money. So it was 1.3 for the bond plus 2 million for Stellus money. So we should be, in the end, returning to fund other things, which is up to the Board of Aldermen. $8,631,715.47. Now that includes the 4 million that's already not being bonded, so, and the 2 million that went to the New Searles project. So that's a pretty good job. All the projects finished on time, under budget, and are doing exceptionally well. And a lot of that can be based on the work from Harvey Construction, so thank you, guys. It gave new meaning on all these projects to the term unknown unknowns. Because as I explained to several people today for some reason, when we do a project and they have to bid it, they have to bid the unknown unknowns. The major example of that would be the mounds on the land where we built the McCarthy Middle School. We didn't know whether they were all sand. We were pretty sure they were, but they could be ledge, and they had to bid the blasting. That was pretty expensive. And another thing that we did, and correct me if I'm wrong, but when we hired a company to do all the land work, which was extensive at McCarthy, there were a bunch of rocks. And the contractor brought in a machine to crush the rocks into gravel, and we let them take the gravel in exchange for offsetting some of their cost. So that saved a bunch of money. And there were a whole bunch of other things, but I don't want to get into them right now. So that was good. So before I go too far, does the school administration want to say anything, Dr. Andre?
Yeah, just to update and kind of segue into building off things that you said about the great work going on. So just more informational. On November 19th, we're going to be holding a community forum at Pennachuck Middle School, and that's at 6:00 p.m. And that's to go over the facilities master plan to get input from the community. Harriman will be facilitating that conversation. As we kind of reported out, we've had 3 or 4 really good educational visioning sessions with members from the school community. So this will be our first community forum, again, November 19th at 6 p.m. at Pennachuck Middle School to get input from the community on the future of our schools. So it sounds like we might have some money.
Is that in the
Cafeteria.
cafeteria? Okay, yes. That was a major change to that school. If you saw the cafeteria before it got started and after we were done, huge change.
Yeah. So again, I think we picked Pennachuck just to show what renovations and what our schools of the future may look like.
Yeah. And we were able to add air conditioning and that, or air handling, or dehumidification project is another way of saying air conditioning. One other thing, the Lions Club of Nashua has donated a tree in Brian McCarthy's memory. We're in the process of the city trying to take the check from the Lions Club to give the Morans, so I don't know the exact date of when that tree is going to be planted and dedicated. They're also going to be doing a little plaque that says something about Brian, but I'm not sure what it says yet. But we'll let you know when that's going to be planted. Okay, so we're now, Sean, did you have anything you want to do right now, or you want to wait a minute?
Just note that we have an addition to our agenda, made Alderman Dowd aware of it this past week, to get access to the visitor side of Stello Stadium. We're proposing a pathway, and I actually handed out a chart of what that might look like before the meeting, so I'll be talking about that after the item number 2, the Reed's Ferry quote.
Okay, so we'll take that up at that point. So if there are no other questions right now, we'll turn it over to Harvey for their update.
Good evening, everybody. Brendan Arell, Project Manager, Harvey Construction. You'll notice something different on the screen tonight. There's no Birch Hill or Maine Dunstable listed for an update. The only few things I have to note, we had just done some replacement signage and a few, minor items that we were installing and knew were coming in October. And we have really one final item that I had mentioned last month that will be installed on the 11th of November, just trying to line it up for a day when nobody's there. And that is the marquee letter section on the school sign. So those are the final items that we had kind of reserved the funding from the subcontractors for until they completed their work. And we are prepared tonight to present the final PCCO to return project savings. So I will turn it over to Mike and have him walk you through New Searles.
Hello, everyone. Mike Space, Assistant Project Manager with Harvey Construction. For New Searles, I'd like to open up by saying that today we received the final certificate of occupancy for the school. So everything is passed and signed off by the city and ready to go. We do have some outstanding items that we have to complete to close out the project. Today, we were scheduled to install the dedication plaque for the school, as well as the main entrance sign. We installed the bullet-resistant pass-through box, as well as the electrical room door and the workroom door inside the school. And throughout the week, we have been installing the awning windows. So as you'll see in the pictures, there'll be a green blanked out area in the windows. And those are going to be awning windows, which in this current picture, you can see some of the windows opened up. It'll look similar to that. We currently have roof exhaust fans being replaced. And the final piece that Alderman Dowd had mentioned in February, we will be replacing the main distribution panel for the school. This picture right here, I just wanted to give you a little update with the landscape. So as you can see in the front of the building, we did install 3 trees. And it's a little hard to see, but right in front of the canopy, there are a few shrubs as well, and the mulching and everything, edging going around the trees and the shrubs.
Mr. Dowd?
Yes, oh,
What
Ms.
kind
Raymond?
of, thank you. What kind of trees did you plant?
They are,
Small.
you had to ask me that question.
I'm curious if they're native trees. They're not like Bartlett pear trees, right?
No, they are a cherry, shoot.
We instructed Morans to plant the right kind of trees. I'm not sure I remember the name either. but-
Yeah, I can't remember the name,
Right,
but
Warren's is, I'm sure, accustomed to my opinions on native shrubs and trees.
And others, yes.
it's a floral tree that will have pink.
Oh, that could be a red bud. It could be an eastern cherry. It could be a serviceberry.
And they
Hoping
won't
it's one
go-
of those.
And they won't grow to be 80 feet tall either there.
Great, thank you.
And this is just another close-up to show the shrubs and the tree with the bark mulch, the brand-new sidewalk. You have the new storefront with the siding. So it's a very nice, complete look. And then finally, the trees on the far side of the building as well.
The new sidewalk.
Yeah, correct, new sidewalk. And this is a picture of the new bullet-resistant pass-through box. So this is a single operating door. So someone that comes into the vestibule, they can open that door and they can put a package or whatever they are inside the box. And once that door is shut on the opposite side within the office, they can open that side of the door to grab that package. And with that side open, you cannot open this side. So it's a single operating door. That's it for the updates.
Any questions? Ooh,
Wake up.
saw the eye doctor today. She dilated my thing, so there's bright light. Okay, so now, Sean.
Okay, talking to the Park and Rec Director who's overseeing Ostello Stadium maintenance is requested a storage shed. They have two storage areas at either end of the stands, underneath the stands, and they're finding they actually need more. Recall that we gave them a bunch of those, what do you call them, goes underneath the chairs to protect the field and whatnot, so they have to store those someplace. And we also purchased them a new field grooming machine, so that has to go someplace. So that's the need for the shed. I told him, get a good one. He went to Reed's Ferry and purchased one, which I believe is in your package. The cost is, make sure I get it right here. So I see a couple of different numbers. $16,818.60.
Get that number again?
16,818.60.
Okay. So we need a motion to approve that?
Yes, we do.
So somebody want to make a motion to approve the expenditure of $16,818.60 for the shed to store the various items that Sean just mentioned?
I'll make the motion.
Okay. Ms. Raymond made the motion. Discussion? Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Sean?
Okay, the second item, I provided the handout just before the meeting. You'll see that that's an overhead view of Ostello Stadium before the new turf, because we still have the BG and north and south logos in the end zones, but now replaced by the word Nashua on both sides. So when we installed the fence surrounding the field itself to keep people from running onto the field, what that did also was to prevent them going straight from the parking lot to the left of the stands directly to the visitor center. So what's left over there on the left-hand side, which is the reddish color in your diagram, is a mixture of grass and stone and mud. So we felt that a paved walkway would be a good idea to place there. So that goes from the front left entrance all the way around the left side of the field and across on the visitor side. There is a paved area already directly in front of the grandstands, so this fills it in on either side. And it already is an existing paved walkway on the right-hand side, which you can faintly see. It's a lighter color. I just sent out the specification today directly to 8 vendors, and we're also placing it on the city website to get bids. Bids are due November 7th, and we're just feeling a little bit of pressure to get it done because the asphalt plants will be closing pretty soon. Depends on the weather, but oftentimes they close by the end of November, early December. So receive the quotes on the 7th, and that same day, I'll probably be calling Alderman Dowd and see if it's okay to proceed. So what we're asking for, the motion would be to authorize the joint special chairman not to exceed $60,000 to approve a contract with a selected vendor for the Stellos walkways.
We hope and don't think it's going to be that much money, but that's the not to exceed.
Right, and engineering, so engineering did this drawing and gave me all the specifications to put in my spec. And they're estimating it no more than 50,000, but me being me, I always add a little bit extra just
And
in
as I
case.
mentioned, we have $179,774.07 left.
I'll make the motion because I have questions.
You did make the motion.
No, I already made the motion. No, I made the motion for the
Oh,
shed.
I'm sorry, go ahead. Now, so you're making this motion as
Shed
well.
made sense to me because we need a shed to store our stuff. But for this, I'm struggling with the price tag a little. It seems like a lot, but I don't really know how much sidewalks cost. And I guess my question is, will it be wheelchair accessible? Like, is it going to be wide enough for people to actually get over there?
Yes,
Okay,
Yes,
we made sure of that.
make sure of that. So there's not going to be any steps or weird
This was
things.
also designed by city engineers, so
Okay.
engineering.
That's great. Yeah, I have no idea whether that's reasonable or not. Although I have to say, I got a quote to widen my driveway and pave a front walk for my house, and that was like $15,000. Because it was to redo the driveway. So, I don't know, maybe 60 is reasonable.
if you could ask
how
these
much
two
did it
gentlemen
cost?
over there, they might be able to validate what this could cost.
We didn't do it, by the way, at my house. We still have our old terrible.
Sean, do you mind repeating the cost again?
I'm asking for not to exceed 60.
60,
Engineers were estimating up to 50.
up to 50. Yeah, I mean, based upon the description that you've given, it sounds very reasonable, is what I would say. I mean, it's surprising. Is it concrete
It's
pavement?
it's asphalt. It's
Asphalt
at
entirely.
least 3 inches thick, 7 feet wide.
Gravel's beneath.
So gravel's beneath it.
Yeah,
Yes.
all
plus
the-
the
Preparation.
the ground preparation as well as the asphalt. This is not
That's-
just putting asphalt on top of loose
Generally
dirt.
the biggest piece.
So it will last. We're not doing it.
So they have to over excavate first, fill in all the gravels, then do the paving after making sure it's flat.
Correct. I mean, I would just say that if it's in accordance with the engineer's recommendations, I would be very comfortable with it if I were the one.
And there's
making
equipment, right, that you need to do that, to do the excavating?
Their
and
equipment, yes, they'll need to excavate it. They have a special paving machine for this width of space.
And there's one on the other side that was done earlier, so this is the making it on both sides. So it was the request of Park Rec and Alderman Sullivan.
Thank you. So to that point, I'm curious about, so if you look at the visitors bleachers, to the right of it, there's a section that is obviously going to be paved. It's my understanding that that's paved already, and I didn't know if you could price out the project to include that section or not include that section. It's been a couple of years since I've been at Stellos. What's the condition of that area? Is it,
We did take a look at it. We felt it's time to replace it. I mean, all the asphalt on the right-hand side is now 24 years old,
okay.
so it's getting to be time.
Okay, and then my only other question is, does the contract say that it's got to be done this year? So does that price include an expedited delivery? We need to have it done this year, so we're going to figure that that's going to cost X amount of money, or?
Since we're subject to the weather, not sure how that's going to fare, although I'm hopeful. We asked for, told them to circle 2025 or 2026. But it has to be done before the spring sports season.
Okay, all right.
So my estimation, it's going to be between 40 and 45, somewhere probably in there. at the most. But it's all that groundwork that's always trying to save money. Any other questions on that? Okay, and all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Also, the stadium, I believe, is going to be an agreement that Park Rec is going to take over. Not yet?
Not necessarily.
Not ownership of the facility.
I think there's been meetings, actually, ironically, legal just reviewed the contract with BG, and that's back in BG's.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah, but the ownership, we've had meetings, but things haven't been solidified, that it's still going to be the coordination of the DPW maintaining the day-to-day operations and Ms. Gingras in the coordination, which is kind of the similar process we had in the past.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything otherwise that we would be shifting responsibilities.
I don't think it had ever been talked about taking ownership away from the school district. I think because of the way it was donated, and you can't do that. But the maintenance, the day-to-day maintenance was never scripted in a document. And that's what they were trying to do, so that they will be responsible for the day-to-day maintenance of the facility, Park Rec, and will be suggesting any future major projects through the Board of Aldermen.
That's how legals recommend their
Yes.
contract with BG. I just want to be careful with the word choice
Yeah.
on how we're saying that this is a change in practice. I think it's memorializing what practices that have existed throughout the years. It's not a transfer in responsibilities, as that has been the ongoing practice where DPW maintains the day-to-day operations, and then it's in coordination with the school department on the renovations.
So it's definitely an issue between yourself, the Board of Education, and BPW, and not the joint special.
I don't think that was ever implied.
Okay. Any other, we did vote on that, yes, yeah, all right. Okay, anything else, Sean?
That's it until I get to invoices.
Okay, we do have one nice PCCO. Sure, go for it.
Thank you, Rick. So tonight I am prepared to present PCCO number 7. This is comprised of PCO 11, which is just really a formality piece to return the remaining funds in the project to you folks. So here on PCCO number 7 for Birch Hill, if accepted, we will be returning $732,732.84.
So that's out of the guaranteed maximum price that was put forth by Harvey, and they're saying they don't need to spend the $732,84. Is there a motion to accept PCC? I knew it was going to be you. Alderman Wilshire made the motion to approve PCCO number 7. Any discussion? Yes, Alderman Sullivan?
Thank you. So I do have some questions around, when I look at the financial statement, and Mr. Smith, this might require your assistance. When I look at the Harvey Construction GMP for both Birch Hill and Maine Dunstable, I see a total of $14,216,000 and change. And change orders 1 through 5, while the dollar amount is listed out, the classification as far as what they are for is not indicated. But when we start with change order number 6 through the end, there is it tells you what it is. So I'm wondering if we might be able to update this to reconcile, to show what those change orders were for, or in some way, shape, or form get an idea of what those are? It's just so for accounting, to reconcile it, so we know, okay, we put a change order in for 1.8 million.
Absolutely.
Just looking at it, I don't know what's for.
No, so Alderman Sullivan had kind of preempted that he was going to ask this question. He had
No surprise
indicated it.
parties,
No
Brendan,
surprise
that's
parties. So I had explained to him that ultimately, if you look at our monthly bills that we submit to you folks, they do outline all of these elements. So it is kind of a Sean question, just with the way it's listed on his sheet, but I did just kind of pull up our records so I could run you through what they are. So the PCCO number 1 was Child Guard laminated security glazing. So it was recognized early on during the design that the ground level windows did not have the standard Child Guard security glazing.
Was that for Maine Dunstable or Birch Hill or both?
So the ones that I am reading off right now would be associated with Maine Dunstable.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
The second one was the roof replacements.
Ah. And that's both.
That is correct. The
Okay.
third one was the new storefronts and the precast sills that we had installed on the exterior. So originally, in addition to the glazing, all of the exterior storefronts, we were going to be kind of taking pieces and parts off of them and then relaying them with new metal. And then we were going to keep the brick sills. So we had presented a PCCO identifying that the brick sills were deteriorating, falling apart. And the windows really, when we got to the extent of pulling them together, it was a very, very cheap cost to kind of just replace them instead. So we ended up presenting that. That was accepted.
Thank you.
Yep. And then I think the last one listed was number 4? Or
That was 4 and 5.
4 and 5?
Please.
Yes, absolutely. So 4 was the gymnasium improvements,
Okay.
and 5 was the BDA 2-hour closet, which was a fire department requirement.
Got it.
Yep. And those should, in general, Alderman Sullivan, align directly between the two. As, you know, the job went on, I think there were 2 others that were not identical for the 2. They were associated with Maine Dunstable only, and that was the transformer and then also the elevator. Those were 2 elements that only took place at Maine Dunstable, did not take place at Birch Hill.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that, because I thought that the transfer in the elevator, I didn't recall that at Maine Dunstable, and I put down here, I said, wasn't that Dr. Crisp?
So Dr. Crisp was not, no, Dr. Crisp, we only had 1 PCCO, and that was for the window in the office. We identified that that needed to be replaced with security glazing.
Okay,
And an awning window. We did that late in the project.
all right.
Yep,
I appreciate you doing that.
absolutely.
Thank you.
Not a problem.
I'm glad they get answered, because all of those went through here and were approved by, they were in detail. But, all right, any other questions on returning 732,000 to us? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. I think we're ready for invoices, Sean.
Okay. On that last subject, it's my fault that those first 5 were not listed. I think about that point, I figured I should start saying what these things are. I never went back to backfill.
I think you had us start telling you what they were, because at one point, I think the question had come up, if I recall.
Okay, so the invoices, tonight we have 2 invoices from Harvey Construction for Birch Hill and New Searles totaling $273,948.55. 1 invoice from LaValle Brenzinger for an analysis of the walls at Stello Stadium, $1,941.24. North Star Construction, Stello Stadium roof repair, $5,000. Overhead door for Stello Stadium, those were to install closing devices, electronic closing devices for the 2 overhead doors, $4,950. Turf Products, that was the field vacuum, or also known as a leaf sucker, for primarily McCarthy, but we'll use it in other schools, $39,811.17. And so those totaled as follows: Birch Hill, Maine Dunstable, $88,490.77. For Brian McCarthy Middle School, $39,811.17. For security vestibule invoices, these for New Searles, $185,457.78. And for Stella Stadium, $11,891.24, for a grand total of $325,650.96.
All right, I'll need a motion to approve the payment of invoices on the Birch Hill, Maine Dunstable invoices of $88,490.77. Brian S. McCarthy Middle School invoices, $39,811.17. Security vestibule invoices, $185,457.78. Stella Stadium, $11,891.24. For total invoices to be approved this evening, $325,650.96. Somebody want to make that motion?
I will make that motion.
Alderman Sullivan made the motion. Any discussion?
Please.
Yes, Alderman Sullivan?
Not in this total, but I wasn't here in September. I looked at the minutes, and I think it was August we talked, remember EEI, that situation with the, has that been resolved?
Not 100%, so we owe them roughly $80,000 still. I'm waiting for them to complete their work. They had a work list of about 18 items, it's now down to 2.
Mike?
Microphone.
I'm sorry, should I start all over again? Yes, EEI is owed approximately $80,000 after they complete their punch list work. Back in August, whenever it was we discussed it, it was about 18 items, now down to 2. And those 2 are awaiting parts so they can complete their work.
Okay.
Expecting next month they'll invoice us for that.
Okay.
So I advised Sean not to pay them until those things were done.
Yeah.
But that money is in the what's presumably to be spent, so it's not,
It's factored in.
yeah, it's factored in.
Okay. All right. Great.
All right,
We have to vote on it.
yes. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Comments by committee members? Alderman Wiltshire.
I'd like to thank Mr. Arell. Are you done with us?
I believe I am. I'm
Well-
off with another school district now.
Good for you, and thank you so much for all your work. You've made it a pleasure to come. You're always ready, on top of everything. I wanted to thank you for
I appreciate that. It has truly been a pleasure working with this board. It truly
Now you're
has.
well-trained to go forth in that other school district north of here,
That is correct.
which is probably, never mind, I'm not. Any other alderman, yeah. Any other comments? Oh, yes.
Just with the discussion earlier about Stellos, of course, to make sure that whoever is making these decisions in the future, that they know that we don't end up in that same situation, that we have the field replaced at regular intervals, and we're not risking injury to kids later on because of, it falling through the cracks.
We've had major discussions with BPW, and I believe it's in our long-range plan for 8 years from now. If it isn't, it's going to be.
Okay.
For the field. And, any other projects that come up, it's been 20 years since, that's why we're doing some of these things now. But the day-to-day maintenance people are supposed to keep on top of this, along with the school district, and the athletic director will be deeply involved.
That's good to hear.
Nothing's going to slide by her.
Very good.
So that would all be factored into future projects.
Thanks.
Anyone else?
I had a question again about Stellos.
Yes,
So, we.
this is Lopez.
Yes, thank you. We replaced the roof over there, at Stellos. Is there anything else that needs to be done? Is it now complete? Not only just the roof being the first question, but Stellos, is it now complete?
Sean?
So regarding the roof, we did not replace the roof, we repaired it.
Okay.
After the assessment done by LaValle Brenzinger, they've identified some more issues, not related to the roof fabric itself, but to how it sheds off the roof, because we're having issues with the masonry blocks underneath it. There's infiltration of water just over time. So we're potentially looking at how we can improve the roof. They have something called a cricket, which is insulation that goes underneath the roof, forces the water in a certain direction. So we're thinking about adding those to it. So that's still outstanding. We still have some masonry block replacement to do. We have not been invoiced our final invoice for the overhead lighting, the Musco lighting that surrounds the field. Yeah, other than that, I think we've pretty much been billed out.
Okay. Thank you so much for all the work that's going on over there.
All set? Anyone else? All right. So, once again, I'll make the favorite motion everybody likes to hear. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We're adjourned at 7:41.